Good morning. It's the weekend. We made it, and boy, is it a lot different than last weekend. We have a lot to talk about. I quickly wanted to kind of run through what we're noticing right now, what we're kind of preparing for the next 24 to 48 hours, and then what's still kind of a question mark as we get into the later part of next week. So, first, we do have several first alert weather days. If you don't know what a first alert weather day is, basically it's just a heads up that weather could impact your life in some way. Now, these are not first alert weather days because of an all day massive snow or ice storm like we had last January. It's actually more so just low impact, kind of isolated, spotty areas that you could run into some slick spots, especially in the morning during commute. I will say today is really uneventful. Just the Cascades and Coast Range, we have issued first alert weather days those days because of in those areas because of a winter storm warning. 2 to 6 inches in the Coast Range today, maybe up to 14 in the Cascades at those highest elevations. So if you're going on the passes or heading to the coast, just kind of be careful. It could be a little slushy, but also snowy and slick at times. Now tomorrow, that's kind of when we have the opportunity for some lowland snow. It's going to be a mix for most of the day. So you could be driving around the metro area, all of a sudden seeing some flurries flying around, and then a few minutes later it'll be just a cold rain. It's going to switch back and forth a lot through the day, just depending on the temperature in that exact location you are. But by the time nightfall rolls around, things get a little colder. That's when we probably have the opportunity to switch to mostly snow. Now, this means that overnight Sunday to Monday is kind of that key time where we could see a light dusting in some areas of the metro, other areas maybe 1 to 2 inches in the West Hills. And then, of course, when you wake up Monday morning, that's exactly what you're going to experience on your way to work or school. 1 to 2 inches is still not very significant, and especially less than an inch. I mean, we're only talking about vegetation like grass and trees or elevated surfaces having just a light bit of snow on it, so not the roads as much, just because it's a little too warm. By the afternoon, we're in the 40s, so a lot of that stuff will melt, and then our next concern is actually overnight again. So I think you can kind of sense the theme here. It's not so much the afternoons we're worried about or like an all-day event. It's the mornings and the overnight hours where it gets cold enough and we could see some refreezing, especially if we do get any snow for tomorrow. And I think Tuesday, Wednesday is a little bit more interesting because that has a higher chance of being a more significant couple of days. It's still really uncertain at this time. We're thinking maybe later Tuesday the snow would arrive and then last sometime through Wednesday. It is a little colder on those days. So those are the 2 days we're going to continue to watch, and I think I definitely want to see how the next few days plays out. But again, not going to be go run to the store and sell out the bread and the milk and all the things